Is there a Medicare supplement plan that covers everything? Well, that depends upon your definition of everything. Hi there. As always, if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to give us a call at the number on the screen, and you can reach us in the comments below. Now remember, we do release these videos on a weekly basis, so please make sure to subscribe to stay up to date. And of course, make sure to click that like button, give us a thumbs up, so that we can grow this channel, because we know that there are a lot of people out there that are confused about Medicare, and rightfully so. So we want to help to make sure that our viewers are a little bit more informed in making the best Medicare decisions possible. Now, Medicare supplement plans are also referred to as Medigap plans, and they work with Original Medicare. And Original Medicare is Part A, which is your hospital insurance, and Part B, which is your outpatient insurance. Now, Part A will help to cover things like inpatient care in a hospital for any type of hospital procedure, skilled nursing facility care. Generally speaking, this is for some type of rehabilitation after your stay in a hospital. Part A will also cover nursing home care. Now, this is not custodial or long-term care, and we will talk about that later in the video. Part A will also help to cover hospice care and home health care. And then there's Part B, which, as I said, is your outpatient insurance. And Part B will help to cover things like medically necessary services. That is, services and supplies that are needed to diagnose or to treat any type of medical condition that meets Medicare and medical practice standards. Then also preventative services. So those would be your wellness visits, vaccinations, early treatment, etc. Part B also helps to cover clinical research, ambulance services, durable medical equipment, so that would be things like a wheelchair or a walker. It will also help to cover mental health, both inpatient and outpatient, as well as partial hospitalization, and very limited prescription drugs. It is very, very limited. Basically, we're talking about vaccinations, chemotherapy, insulin if it's administered via pump, so it's not going to be your standard prescriptions that you take every day to regulate your blood pressure, for example. Now, as I said, Original Medicare will help to cover the costs of these types of services, but there are still out-of-pocket costs if you don't have a Medicare supplement plan. And that's what those Medicare supplement plans do, is they fill in those financial gaps. There are 10 Medigap plans to choose from, and they will help to cover the financial gaps, such as deductibles and copays and coinsurance. They may also impose an out-of-pocket maximum, which will help protect you from major medical bills. Now, the plans are standardized from carrier to carrier, so that means that the benefits will not change regardless of the carrier that you choose. And also, if your doctor accepts Original Medicare, then they accept your supplement plan regardless of who the carrier is. Now, there are differing levels of coverage, and that is dependent upon the plan that you choose. This chart comparing the different Medigap plans is readily available on Medicare.gov, and I'll put the link to this page in the description below. So these are the plans: Plan A, Plan B, C, D, F, G, K, L, M, and N. You will see asterisks here for Plan F and Plan G. That's because they also offer high deductible versions of these plans. So, the first benefit that can be offered is your Part A coinsurance and hospital costs. This is very important. If you stay past a certain amount of time in a hospital, your Part A coinsurance can be several $100s per day. So this is a major benefit of having a Medicare supplement plan, and you will see that all of the plans do in fact cover that. Then there's the Part B coinsurance or copays. So if you do have a coinsurance payment or a copay for a Part B service or product, then it is generally speaking 20% of the Medicare approved amount. The only exception to that is the Part B excess charges, which can be up to 15% on top of that. And the only plan that's offered to new enrollees that covers that would be Plan G. We'll get back to that in just a moment. So you'll see that all of the plans will cover your Part B coinsurance. Plan K and Plan L will cover a portion of that coinsurance. In fact, they'll cover a portion of many things. That's why these plans are referred to as the cost-sharing plans. The plans will also cover the first 3 pints of blood if you need a transfusion. Again, Plan K and Plan L at a reduced rate. Part A, hospice care. All plans will cover this in some capacity. Skilled nursing facility care. Ooh, this one is very, very important. So, should you need to recover in a skilled nursing facility, again, those copays and coinsurance can be
quite expensive if you stay past a certain amount of time, which is highly likely in your recovery process. So Plan A and Plan B do not cover that coinsurance. Your Part A deductible, which you may have to meet in a given year, you may not. It depends if you need to be hospitalized or not. And remember, that is applied per benefit period. So all plans, with the exception of Plan A, will cover it in some capacity. Your Part B deductible, actually no plans being offered to new enrollees will cover the Part B deductible, so ignore Plan C and Plan F because we're only looking at the plans offered to new enrollees across the board. But remember, the Part B deductible is a once annual deductible, and in 2023 it's only $226. Then there's the Part B excess charges, which I mentioned a moment ago. Plan F is no longer being offered to new enrollees, so let's just ignore this for the most part. Plan G is the only plan that does cover Part B excess charges. So if that's something that's important to you, you may want to look at Plan G. But remember, Part B excess charges are not all that common, and they are not actually allowable in all states. Then there's foreign travel exchange up to the plan limits. So some of the plans will cover this at 80%. And then there's that out-of-pocket limit, which for most of these plans is not applicable. Now, if you scroll down, you will see here that Plan N covers 100% of the Part B coinsurance, except for a copayment of up to $20 for some office visits and up to a $50 copay for emergency room visits that if you don't end up being admitted into the hospital.
So as you can see, there aren't really any plans available, especially to new beneficiaries, that cover everything, but there are plans available that cover almost everything. But remember, there may be some benefits that you are overlooking that aren't covered by any type of Medicare Supplement plan. So let's talk about some of those additional benefits. The first benefit that I want to discuss is dental. Now, Original Medicare does not offer dental coverage. You can get some type of dental plan with a Medicare Advantage plan because many Medicare Advantage plans do offer additional fringe benefits like dental. However, in all honesty, Medicare Advantage is not usually our number one recommendation. Now, we do detail that in other videos, and that's not to say that there aren't great Medicare Advantage plans that work wonderfully for some people. And if that's the case for you, that's excellent because they can be a great way to save money. But it really just depends upon your specific needs, your budget, your location, and a series of other factors. So if you do choose to keep Original Medicare and a Medicare Supplement plan and you want some type of dental coverage, then your best option would of course be some type of private dental insurance plan. Now don't worry, these are much less expensive than people think. They are nowhere near comparable in price to health insurance. And the benefit of having some type of private dental insurance is that you have a range of options available to you. So you can of course choose a DHMO, but you can also choose a PPO, which will give you more flexibility. And then there's dental savings plans as well. Vision is also not covered by Original Medicare or a Medicare Supplement plan. And this becomes more necessary as we get older. So if this is something that you're interested in, you would either need to go for Medicare Advantage or purchase a separate vision plan, which again, like dental, is not going to be anywhere near as expensive as health insurance. Most prescription drugs are also not covered by Original Medicare. Now, of course, there are some very limited exceptions as to what prescription drugs would be covered under Part B, but this is mostly things like vaccinations or insulin if it's administered via pump. So it's a very, very small amount of prescription drugs. If you do need prescription drug coverage, then your best bet would be to go for a Medicare Part D plan, which are strictly prescription drug plans. These types of plans can be relatively inexpensive. There is a late penalty that you want to be aware of. The longer that you go without having some type of creditable prescription drug coverage, the higher that penalty will be. It's not a terribly high penalty, but you do want to take that into consideration if you're considering delaying enrolling in a Medicare Part D plan. Also, although many Medicare Advantage plans do offer prescription drug coverage, not all do. So if you are going to go the Medicare Advantage route, make sure that your plan offers prescription drug coverage. Finally, long-term care is not covered by Original Medicare, nor is it covered by Medicare Supplement plans. Now, this causes a lot of confusion with people because Original Medicare does cover skilled nursing facilities, but these are not the same as long-term care facilities. Basically, skilled nursing facilities are designed to help you recover or recuperate from an illness or an injury that you've recently had a hospital stay for.
So in a skilled nursing facility care, you'll receive treatment or care that requires some type of medical training. So this could be something like changing the dressings of an injury or perhaps having an IV administered. Now, these types of services and this type of facility will be covered by Medicare. Skilled nursing facilities are also sometimes referred to as nursing homes, and that's where the confusion lies, because nursing homes in the eyes of Medicare are not the same as long-term care facilities or custodial care facilities. So in custodial care facilities, your daily activities are what they're going to be assisting you with. So this is not necessarily something that requires any type of medical training. So you could receive assistance with something like getting in and out of bed. They call that transferring, or getting dressed, eating, bathing, toileting, or continence. Again, these are not things that necessarily require medical training. And this type of facility will not be covered by Medicare. Now, many people are confused because on Medicare.gov, you will see it refers to skilled nursing facilities as well as nursing homes. And very often people think of a condition like Alzheimer's as being treated in a nursing home. But in the eyes of Medicare, that is just not the case, because that kind of condition, unless there is an IV being administered or bandage being changed or medication, that's not necessarily going to require a skilled nursing care facility. And even if it did, if you need assistance with several of those ADLs, which is the activities of daily life, again, transferring, toileting, continence, bathing, eating, and dressing, then that would disqualify you from care from a skilled nursing facility and instead place you in long-term or custodial care.
So a condition like that would actually disqualify you from skilled nursing facility care. Now, we do have a video that details a little bit further about long-term care, and it's definitely something that you want to at least research in advance, because those type of care facilities can be quite expensive. As always, if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to give us a call at the number on the screen or in the comments below. There's absolutely no charge for our services. If you have any type of question, we are more than happy to help, and we are licensed nationwide. And do remember to subscribe to stay up to date, because we release these videos on a weekly basis. And please, as a final reminder, make sure to click that like button so we can get this information out there. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.